Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we're talking all things sunscreen, and so much is happening in the sunscreen world in 2026. I thought it's time we cover it on the channel, because can you believe it? It's been close to 8 months since I last filmed a dedicated sunscreen video, and we are putting that right today. We're going to talk about some of the changes that are occurring, some positive, some negative, and then we're going to come on to the best part of the video where I share with you my current absolute favorite sunscreens. We have something here for everyone. We've got some mineral, we've got some chemical, we've got some budget friendly, we've got some water resistant, we've got some tinted. Whatever you want in a sunscreen, I have a recommendation for you. So sit back, relax, let's talk the greatest sunscreens of 2026. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my personal favorites. These are all tried, tested, and slapped on this very face. Nothing in this video is sponsored or in paid partnership and never will be. Here on Mad About Skin, I turned down that coin because I pride myself on my independence. I want to speak from the heart and not the wallet. So if you appreciate truly independent skincare recommendations, the very best way to support me is to reach down and give the video a big thumbs up and a like. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Follow us along because I know we would love to have you as part of the Mad About Skin family. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So we're in 2026 and a lot has happened since I last filmed a sunscreen update video. I'm first going to cover off some of the changes and what's going on, and then I'm going to get onto my favourite sunscreens. If you did want to jump to one section of the video over another, I've left the timestamps down in the description box below so you can do just that. And I'll also link every single product mentioned today. So if you wanted to read the reviews, check the price point, make a purchase, those links are all there to make it super easy for you. So some of the changes that are occurring, let's talk about the positives first. Now, there is a little hope on the horizon, particularly if you're watching this video from the USA or the North American skincare market in general, because there's talk of a new filter being approved by the FDA, finally. It's only taken them 26 years, but finally they've actually got off their bums and decided to look at a new filter. This should be coming online later this year, potentially next year. It depends on some of the timings. But I think this is a huge step forward. For the past 5 years, there's really been a disparity in sunscreen provision. The USA had their own sunscreens with generally outdated filters due to regulations, and the rest of the world could enjoy new generation technology, lighter weight finishes, better protection. And it really seemed like a two-tiered world when it came to sunscreens. That is slowly going to change with the introduction of this new filter. Now, it's not groundbreaking because it takes more than one new generation filter to make a good sunscreen, but one is better than none. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. And hopefully this will spur other brands to really put their products through the requirements and the loopholes to get FDA approval. We'll see how that goes, but let's just take the win as it is, and we should start seeing this filter come into sunscreens sort of later on in 2026. This is a patented filter which is owned by the L'Oreal group and anyone that it licenses it to, so it will be limited to certain brands, but like I say, let's just take the win because we've been waiting too long for any progress at all. We're also seeing quite a few new of the smaller indie or emerging brands enter the sunscreen field, which I think is super exciting. And this is definitely a big development that's coming in 2026. My favourite skincare brand, Remedy, have sunscreen in the works that's looking like it's going to launch sort of July, August time this year, which I am very excited for. Another one of my favourite brands, Geek Gorgeous, has been teasing their sunscreen for months and looks like that's going to hit shelves around May time, which again is perfect for the summer months here in the UK. Cannot wait to get my hands on that. And lots of the newer, hyped, viral skincare brands are bringing their sunscreens to market. I think this is a huge step forward because I do always say about brands, if a skincare brand doesn't have a sunscreen as part of their collection or is actively working on one and bringing it to market soon, they're not really taking it seriously because no skincare routine is complete without sunscreen. So I think it almost should be the first thing that brands start to develop. I was really happy to launch my own sunscreen as part of my skincare brand within the first year of the brand taking shape. And it's great to see some of these other smaller brands like the likes of Remedy, Geek and Gorgeous, doing just that and bringing a sunscreen to market that, if any of their other products are to go by, we know is going to be an absolute superstar product. So I think those are the real positives. When it comes to some of the negatives, some changes in regulation, again, specifically in the US, are complicating the sunscreen field. So the US are really coming down hard, particularly on Korean skincare brands and their use of new generation filters. So because of the regulations, if you are in the US and you want to buy your sunscreen in a physical retailer, go into a drugstore, go into a retailer of some description and buy a sunscreen, it has to use approved filters, which are the old style. So very few, if any, of the Korean sunscreens actually meet those requirements. Now, Korean sunscreen brands and manufacturers don't want to miss out on the huge US market, so they're bringing almost like US compliant versions, which are clearly a downgrade in terms of the feel on the skin, the protection they give versus the traditional formulas, but keeping them in the same packaging. This is really confusing because if you're a US consumer, it's really hard to tell whether you're getting the good stuff, the original, or you're getting the updated US compliant one, which in most cases isn't going to be as good. And because they use the same packaging, it's really hard to differentiate. Unfortunately, for the rest of us in the rest of the world, that in the US, there is some mix up with some of the online retailers where we're getting the newer US version of it in the UK, for example, when we're buying online expecting the original and better formulation. It's becoming a little bit of a mess because of the products looking identical, even though they have a different ingredients list. This I covered in a separate video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there if you want to delve into that in a little bit more detail. But I think as consumers in 2026, we need to be hyper aware of what we're buying, particularly when it comes to Korean sunscreens. And whether you're in the US or the rest of the world, we need to reach out to retailers that we're buying from and saying, what version are you sending me? I need to know what I'm slapping on my skin. I want the good stuff. I don't want the kind of US compliant downgrade. I want the good stuff. So we do have to be a little bit more aware and vigilant when it comes to buying particularly Korean sunscreens online. And I think that's a shame because it just adds some complexity that we don't need to our lives, but it is what it is. That is my little update. We have a new filter, we've got new brands coming online, we've got a little complexity. Hopefully that covers it, but if you want to know any more details about any aspect of that, let me know in the comments. But now we're coming into that, like the real bones of this video, which is my favourite sunscreens. And like I say, I've got a little something here for everyone. If you're on a budget, but you want to prioritise your sun protection, I've got some affordable options, we've got some mineral, chemical, everything. So let's start out with some super affordable options, because I know that budgets are pinched in 2026 and I would hate anyone to feel that they have to forego or compromise on their sun protection because maybe their budget on skincare isn't what it used to be, or maybe they're looking to reduce it in any way. You don't need to. Some of the best sunscreens are drugstore and affordable, and I'm going to share them with you now. So let's start out with these. Altruist. Stunning, absolutely amazing European high protection brand, super affordable. Their ethos is bringing high quality sun protection to the masses. I think we can all get on board with that. They have so many great formulations and there's really just something there for everybody. What I love about them is they put the PPD, which is the UVA protection, front and center on their boxes. So when you're buying a sunscreen, you'll get two figures. The SPF figure, this is the figure showing the level of protection against UVB rays. UVB rays age the skin and burn the skin. So you need a good SPF 30 or above to protect the skin. What brands often will hide sort of in and amongst things is the PPD rating, which is the protection against UVA rays. UVA rays damage the skin, so it can cause cellular damage and aging. And when we talk broad spectrum sunscreen, we need high levels of UVB and UVA coverage. So Altruist have the UVB protection factor with the SPF there, but they also put here PPD 52. Now for UVA protection, anything over 19 is considered ultra high. 19. This is 52. That's like off the scale protection. So if you have melasma, aging, and you just need the highest potency sunscreen you can get, Altruist. I absolutely love it. This is a primer which you can wear under makeup, adds some grip if you put makeup on top of your sunscreen. This is a good option to go for. This is the anti-redness, so if you have very redness prone skin, it's got things which are going to calm, soothe, but also has a greenish hue to it, which will reduce the redness and do some color correction. These are my two favorites. There's a whole host of sunscreens. Explore the Altruist market because they're all great. These are my favorite. If I'm wearing makeup on a day, I'll use the primer. If I'm feeling a bit redness prone or flushed, I'll use this one. These are my two. But yeah, PPD UVA protection matters. So definitely reach out to brands. And if they won't tell you what the protection is, run a mile. So keeping it with the affordable, I said earlier in the video that when I launched my own skincare brand, within a year I launched a sunscreen, and this is my actual proudest achievement because sunscreens are so hard to formulate, get approval, put through testing. It's a lot, and as a small indie brand, I was really proud that we were able to do that. It cost a lot in terms of actual money and time, but we got there, and I am so pleased with the results. This is the Mad About Skin Protect and Hydrate Sunscreen. Now, where this differs from other sunscreens is the level of the longevity of protection that you're getting. So most sunscreens you will need to reapply after 2 hours. If they use new generation photo stable filters, they can last up to 6 or in some cases 8 hours. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to reapply, maybe you don't have the time, you can't be bothered, you don't have the patience, then get a long wear sunscreen. This lasts for 6 hours, and this means that you can apply it on a morning, have that coverage while you're out and about, and you're not having to reapply. So if you're somebody that really hates 2-hourly reapplication, the Altruist also lasts for 6 hours. This will last for 6 hours. It just makes your life so much simple, and also has sky-high UVA protection too. So you've got the SPF 50+, that's on the bottle, and the PPD rating on here is 23. Like I say, anything over 19 is ultra high. This is 23, so it's giving you next level UVA protection, and it's the lightest weight finish. The Altruist ones are fairly lightweight, but they will still feel, you'll be able to feel them on the skin a little bit, but they're super affordable. This is truly invisible. And the great thing about this is how affordable it is. I could have charged more for this product, but I just think, you know, charging what is affordable to people is what matters most to me. And so with this, we actually have a triple at the moment. See that? See the finish on the skin? Just beautiful. We actually have a trio offer at the moment where you get 3 of these sunscreens and you get 33% off. So really, each bottle of this will cost you £11 and you get 100ml. So most of the sunscreens I'm mentioning today are 50ml. This you get 100ml, so you're getting double the product, and it's going to be £11 for 100ml. So if you see this, if you compare this mil for mil to a Korean sunscreen, this is the equivalent of £5. Let that sink in. £5 for 100ml if you're comparing it to Korean sunscreens. It doesn't get more affordable than that. And the great news is if you're shopping in the US, then you can absolutely buy this and we'll ship it to you. No problem at all. It uses new generation filters, which is fantastic, giving you the best protection, but we can still get it to the US. So, and we have lots of very loyal US customers. So if you're watching from here, you can. Tariffs, charges are included in the price. There's no additional, so you can shop with confidence. Same goes for the European Union, all your VAT, all your customs, everything is included. So the price that you pay at checkout is the final price. No ifs, no buts. And we offer a guarantee that if any extra price creeps in, any price whatsoever, additional payment, email us and we will refund it. 100% no quibble guarantee on that. So you can shop with confidence. And I know that's a concern with a lot of people that are shopping internationally about additional charges. But yeah, 6-hour protection. Look at that on the skin. It's the nicest finish, and I'm super breakout prone, and this doesn't break me out and it doesn't sting my eyes. So if you're just looking for a sunscreen that does it all, as you can tell, I'm a fangirl for my own product. I'm super proud, but yeah, it only came back in stock yesterday. So if you wanted to get it, I've left it linked down below. Finally, for the super affordable, let's talk this. This is the Garnier Ombre Solaire Hydra 24 Protect. For the body, for the family, for the face, for everything, this is it. You get 200ml in here, and I paid £12 for this for 200ml. That is a good price. This uses newer generation filters too. It's super lightweight and it's just great for the beach. If you're somebody that just wants a gallon, like a bucket load of sunscreen that you can take to the beach and slather on, this is the product I would reach for. Super inexpensive, high level of protection, UVA protection too, great for all the family. I love this. It can be a little tricky to get outside of Europe, so I will call that out, but if you can find it, buy it. It is one of my favorites. It's my go-to beach product for the body. I absolutely love it. Now, I've got a couple of Korean sunscreens. I used to do Korean sunscreen recommendations as a separate video, and I thought, why are we doing that? Because actually we're an international community here. Some people like Korean sunscreens, some like Western. It doesn't matter. Let's just include them all in the same video to keep it easy. These two. So we have the Madagascar Centella Hyalu Water Fit Sun Serum, and we have the Numbuzzin Pure Full Calming Water Sunscreen. Both of these, super lightweight, offering really great protection and that lightweight, invisible finish that you expect from a sunscreen. These are my two favorite Korean sunscreens of the moment, and I'd say they're both very similar. The one difference is this one by Numbuzzin has some temperature like reducing qualities to it, so it's cooling on the skin. So if you're somebody that gets very flushed and somebody who gets very redness and prickly in the heat, this would be a great option to go for to reduce all that down. This one is slightly more hydrating. So I'd say of these two, whilst they're very similar, go for the Skin 1004 one if you want the extra hydration. Go for the Numbuzzin one if you want the anti-redness, calming, soothing, just temperature check. I love both of them. I don't know what more I can say. I love both of them. These are the ones that if you're shopping in the US, you do have to be a little bit careful. I did check with Stylevana and Yes Style, two of the biggest retailers, before I came online and filmed this for you guys. And if you're shopping outside of the US, if you order from Stylevana or Yes Style, they will be shipping the original, what I call the proper formulations, to you. No ifs, no buts on that. So you can shop with confidence. I've done the work to save you guys the bother. If outside of the US you want to get your hands on these two, then you can do so on Stylevana and Yes Style, and you'll get the original formulas. So let's do a little bit of tinted. If you like your sunscreen tinted, it can be a little bit challenging because there are lots, it's hard to find a proper match, I guess what I'm saying. But if you want a mineral sunscreen that is tinted, best one is this. This is the Tower 28 Sunny Days SPF. So this is an SPF 30, and most mineral sunscreens are gonna realistically offer you an SPF 30, not an SPF 50. There are some exceptions, but generally a mineral sunscreen, it's hard to get that higher level of UVB coverage. So just bear that in mind. If you're looking for a mineral sunscreen, generally they will be SPF 30, whereas most chemical are SPF 50 or 50 plus. It's fine. Most dermatologists recommend SPF 30 or higher, so don't freak out if you see 30 and think, oh no, I need 50. I personally prefer an SPF 50, but any dermatologist that you speak to will say SPF 30 is more than enough to cover all your needs and protect the skin. So just throw that disclaimer out there. This I absolutely love. If you want a mineral sunscreen, this is the one that I would go for. And for me, at the moment, I'm on the lighter end of things because I haven't been out in the sun. It's been very cold here in the UK. We're coming out of winter. And my colour at the moment is 15 Melrose. I will probably go for a slightly darker shade as we come into summer. And that's something you have to factor in with tints. But if you want to know, like, they've got a great shade range. I am number 15 Melrose on mine. And this is really, really nice. You get, how much do you get in here? You get 30 ml. So it's not the biggest bottle, but that's pretty standard again for tinted sunscreens. And I just love how this pairs on the skin. It's got a really nice applicator in it. And if you look at it, it's not ashy. Sometimes when you get these tinted sunscreens, even if you choose the right shade, it comes across a bit ashy and almost a bit distorted. I don't care for that at all. This doesn't. This is just my shade, just my shade. Obviously, there is a bit of guesswork involved in choosing the right shade, but it's not patchy. It's definitely on the matte side like most mineral sunscreens are. So if you want matte with coverage, this is nice. I'd say it gives a light to medium coverage. It's not like wearing a foundation, but it definitely does do some color correction, and you'll notice that the skin is just a bit more even having used it. I really like it. Like I say, this is my favorite mineral sunscreen recommendation and tinted at the same time. And the tint does give some additional protection against certain wavelengths of light. So it's an added bonus. I'm 15 Melrose if you want to use that as your comparator for your own individual shade. Hopefully that helps. Now, I've got two specialist recommendations here to end this video. First up, let's talk water resistant. So some people want to use a water resistant sunscreen all day long, all the time. I don't, because A, you pay more for them. So I think why waste your money when you don't always need it? They tend to be heavier. And if you use them consistently, they can clog the pores because some of the ingredients that make them water resistant. So I would opt for one of the other products mentioned today as your day-to-day. Then when you need that water resistance, say you're swimming. I like to do open air swimming when I can in summer when it's warm. I'll use a water resistant sunscreen. If I'm in and out of the sea at the beach, I will wear a water resistant sunscreen. I do that when I need to, if that makes sense. If I'm sweating a lot, if I go jogging, I haven't done that in years, but if I was to go jogging, let's just say, let's just argument's sake, if I decided to actually go for a jog and I sweat a lot, I would wear a water-resistant sunscreen. So I have one on hand for those moments, but I don't use it every day because I can cut the costs by using some of the others. And the one I go for is the Allies of Skin, the One Invisible Sunscreen Gel. This is the only invisible, lightweight, water-resistant sunscreen I have ever found. All the others are thick, heavy, gloopy, awful. This isn't. So let me put this on. It's a gel, so it goes on as a clear gel. So no matter what your skin tone, this will work for you because it's clear gel. You work this in and it disappears without a trace. It is genuinely matte. Just no greasiness. Look at that. Just matte. It's just a guaranteed good skin day. It doesn't weigh the skin down. It's invisible. It feels invisible. It's the only water-resistant sunscreen I've ever found to be truly invisible and lightweight. I will never use another water-resistant sunscreen ever other than this. Because it's not the cheapest product out there, I have this on hand for when I'm doing my outdoor swimming, when I'm at the beach, when I need the water resistance day to day, I'll go for a cheaper option. But I do have a discount code for Allies of Skin, which will get you some money off this, 20% off, I think, off this, if you did want to buy it. I think everybody should have a water resistant sunscreen, but use it when you need it, if that makes sense. And then last, but by no means least, just give a shout out to this. This is the VT Seeker No Sebum UV powder. So I wouldn't use a powder as my primary sunscreen because I don't think you're going to get the coverage you need. This is an SPF 20. It has some UVA protection too. I wouldn't use this as my go-to sunscreen, but what I do is I have this on hand for those days where I need a little oil control. So some sunscreens, whichever ones you go for, might look a bit greasier than you want. That's normal. In summer, I'm super greasy. Adding a sunscreen on top always translates as greasy in the T-zone. I will just put a little bit of this. It's beautiful. It's like a beautiful palette. Actually, do you know, I haven't opened this one. This is my new one for this year that I bought for this year. But as you can see, you get a little dab, and I will just dab this where I need it. I don't personally need this now because I'm not oily yet, but I know in summer I'll want to powder down my sunscreen. If you use this, not only will you be able to achieve a matte look from a glossier sunscreen, but it also gives you a touch more protection. Not groundbreaking, touch more protection, it's like £5. Recommend it to everyone. Have this in your collection because I just think it's the best way of powdering down a slightly shiny sunscreen. There will be a time that everyone will need that. This is it. Safe to use over sunscreen and it adds a little extra protection. What's not to love? And there, guys, is my rundown of the best sunscreens 2026. A little bit of an update of the industry and where we are now, and hopefully some inspiration for when it comes to your own skincare routine. I would love to know. It's been 8 or 9 months since we did a good sunscreen video. Have you missed them? Would you like more? But most importantly, have you reached the bitter end with me? I think this is going to be one of the longer videos because I had so many recommendations. So have you stuck with me to the bitter end? If you have, let me know by leaving the sunshine emoji down in the comment section below so I can reach out and personally thank you for being part of the bitter end crew and watching to the end. I honestly love you guys so much and you mean the world to me. Hopefully this has given you some inspiration when it comes to your own sun care in 2026 and wherever you are in the world, guys. Stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.